Hey, Matt. Obviously a tough one tonight, but what happened there and kind of down the closing stretch? There was a stretch y'all were 1 for 7 at one point, and that allowed Tech to creep back up and eventually tie it.
I just think it was we didn't make enough plays down the stretch. Starting with myself, um, just needed more shots to fall. But it was accumulation of things over the game. We went 18 for 31 from the free throw line. They converted on our turnovers. We had 0 points off their turnovers. They had 9 or 19. So it was just accumulation of things over the game, and if you have too many, it gets you beat.
Do you think that y'all are at a point where, I mean, a game like tonight, there's going to be real specific things that y'all go look at, real specific plays,
Yeah.
and is that the margin of difference in these things now? Is it does come down to maybe 1 or 2 plays?
Uh, and it's conference play. Just like our last game against West Virginia was a one possession game. This game was a one possession game. When in the Big 12, it's a battle. Uh, you're gonna go through games where it's gonna be a possession game. I think a lot could have been avoided though from just plays before. Before it was crunch time, the last 4 minutes. McCullough got a drive down the lane in transition. I think they got an offensive rebound. So it was a couple of things that could have been avoided for us in order to not have the ending that it had.
Chris, go ahead.
Matt, how much does this one hurt after the run that you guys were on?
Man, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. We won with 5, 6 straight. We've just been playing well, been connected. It's been fun. Like winning is fun. It leaves a poor taste in everyone's mouth because we haven't lost much this year. So the feeling is something we don't want to have, but we remember it and we're gonna learn and get better, watch film, and get ready, prepare for Kansas State.
What was the message in the locker room amongst you guys individually as a team, and then from Shaka?
It's exactly that. Just remember this feeling. Remember how it feels to come up short. We're gonna learn to get better and move forward.
Dustin, go ahead.
Matt, speaking of remembering that feeling, I mean, this felt like a March Madness game. I mean, really high-level basketball game, super intense. Seemed like it was a very edgy game between both teams down the stretch. Do you kind of take that with you going away from this as well? Just kind of the demeanor between the two teams going back and forth at each other?
I just think that's like the Big 12 for you, just as conference basketball. Two high-level teams, two well-coached teams. It's what you come to college for, just playing in this conference. Every game so forth just feels like a March Madness game.
I know you and Courtney have grown so close. What do you say to him after this one? He was visibly pretty upset with himself with, the way that game ended with the inbounds pass and then, defending McClung at the end. What do you say to him after this one?
Man, you've done a lot for this program. Don't let this one game define you as a player. For anybody, if it happened to me, it happened to him. It's a tough feeling. It's a tough feeling, a tough pill to swallow. But he's a great player. He's came a long way. His attitude is great, and he's a competitor. If it happened to anybody, I don't think nobody else would take it as hard on the chest as him, just because of how bad he wants to win. And it's not blaming this loss on him. No, not at all. It's things that happened beforehand that could have been avoided for us not to be in that position. So he feels the way he feels because he's a competitor. He wants to win.
Cedric, go ahead.
Yeah, Matt, I know winning is intoxicating, and you guys have been rolling, and to have it taken away from you like that, does that just steal your wool even more to want to get back in the gym and like you said, get that taste out of your mouth?
Yeah, man, it's early. This is only our fourth or fifth conference game. There's a lot more games to be played. It's conference play. It'd be wonderful to go undefeated, but you're gonna have some games, some stretches that that would be tough, and the better teams respond. So it's all about responding and moving forward.
Brian, go ahead.
Matt, of all the stats, the one that is the most surprising to me is no points off turnovers tonight. What do you think happened there?
I think our pace just slowed up in the second half. Just playing with pace is probably one of our advantages on the offense end, and I think it just slowed up. We let them slow us down a little bit, so that didn't allow us to capitalize on their turnovers. Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you.
No problem. All right, is Courtney next? I'm staying here for Courtney too.
Courtney, I know how much of a competitor you are. What do you guys need to take away from this one? I mean, obviously, still a ton of basketball to play. That was a really high-level game between two teams really playing well. What do you guys need to take away from this to get better moving forward?
I feel like a game like this just shows, like I said earlier in the season when we lost to Villanova, that we can either only way teams can beat us is if we beat ourselves. And I feel like we beat ourselves today. There's a lot of things that I can go back and just learn from. And I feel like the whole team can. There's a lot of things that we're going to improve in. Then the last time we was in this situation, I think we won 7 games in a row or 6 games in a row. So we're going to bounce back from it. It hurts to lose a game like that. But starting with me, I'm going to be much better. And I'll take the blame for tonight.
What's the demeanor like amongst you guys? I mean, just the vibe after this one. I mean, you mentioned that you went on that winning streak after Villanova. This group just seems so much more connected than previous years. I mean, is that kind of the sense you get that you guys are better suited to bounce back after something like this?
For sure. Like I said, we had this game won, and they came back and made more plays than us. And then we just got to look at film tomorrow and just prepare for Kansas State. It hurts right now to lose a game like that, but we got to have that next game mentality, just ready to attack our next opponent and then just put it in the past.
Bob, go ahead.
Yeah, Courtney, you're a guy that never really gets too high or too low in any situation. What do you think happened down the stretch? I
just made a couple bad plays. I wasn't really myself down the stretch, but I'm going to learn from it, and that's what good players do. I'm not going to dwell on it. It hurts right now because I want to win every game, but I'm going to get past it, and I'm going to be there for my team, and they're going to be there for me. I'm just going to prepare for Kansas State. I think we play them Saturday. I'm just going to take a day.
And on the inbounds pass, was it just it just kind of surprised you they came full court, or what happened on the inbounds pass?
When I looked away, I thought Matt was on the inside of him. Then when I passed it, he wasn't. So I just made a bad judgment call. I got to know, as being one of the leaders, that we have timeouts, and I can just call timeout just to reset the count.
Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, Courtney, kind of playing off that. I mean, just like Dustin said, the type of competitor you are, have you gotten to the point where you can let those type of plays roll off your back?
I mean,
does that stuff sit with you?
I think the layup was another thing that affected me, but Matt found me in the corner, and I made a 3, so I got past that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it hurts right now.
3?
Yeah, it hurts right now, of course. I want to win every game, but, I mean, I'm going to sleep on it, and I'm going to watch film, and I'm going to get better from it, and it's going to be that.
That's the thing Matt and I were talking about, is that there are very specific plays in this game that y'all are going to go back and watch a bunch of times. Is that just what this league is that it's going to come down to very specific things night after night?
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of things that we can get better at. Up 4 with like 50 seconds, we gave them an easy layup in transition without having them using a lot of clock. That's one thing to be example. We missed a lot of free throws, my pass. It's a lot of things that we can get better at, just executing better, getting the shots that we want. And they're a great team. This is a great league. Anybody can be anybody. So it was just a night where a couple games, our last game, we were on the opposite end, beating West Virginia by a buzzer beater. And then just the next game, it can happen to us. It just shows how good our league is. And we just can't dwell on it. We're 4-1 in the league. I think we're still in second place or whatever. So it's a lot of room and a lot of growth that we can have for our season.
The 2 last ones. Go ahead, Chris.
Courtney, what does it say to you about Matt as a teammate that he's, hanging out right there with you after a tough night like this?
I mean, I'll do the same for him. It just shows that we're connected and we're close. We're going to talk about the game. Of course, we talk about every game. He was the reason I came to Texas. I talked to him, and he allowed me just to be his backcourt mate. He could have been like, no, I want to run the show by myself. But he allowed me to play alongside him, so I appreciate him for that. But, nights like this are tough, especially when you want to win.
Does him being there and the bond that you guys have, the two of you and as a team as a whole, does that give you confidence that you'll be able to bounce back from a night like this?
For sure. We're a great team. Great team lose sometimes. We just got to not let it carry over to the next game. We play a good Kansas State team. We just got to prepare for them like we prepare for Tech, like we prepare for West Virginia. We can't treat them any different. And then we're going to bounce back, and then we're just going to get this thing rolling again.
Last one. Go ahead, Cedric.
Yeah, Courtney, I asked Matt the same question. Winning's intoxicating, and to lose like this tonight, how much motivation does that give you guys to just get back on the court and get this taste out of your mouths?
Losing is bad. You know, it wasn't a good feeling. It wasn't normal for us when we got back in the locker room after the game. But losing sometimes can like humble you, you know. And it humbled us for sure. It just proved that anybody can be anybody in this league. And we don't want to lose too many more games. So it's just a lot of growth that we can make as individuals and as a whole team together.